I've heard good stories of teams and managers that have helped treat their players right with realistic expectations, but it's very difficult, especially when they have investor money coming from outside the scene. Or they have expectations that are unrealistic. Like, if you're investing this amount of money, what type of ROI are you adjusting for? And how can you really have that expectation of that ROI 2, 3, 4, 5 years after the game's been released, when the entire video game cycle, with the very few amount of exceptions, have a new title coming out every 2 or 3 years, right? So the investment can't only be in we're with you for this game. It has to be we're with you to grow with you across these game cycles, right? And that's why I get concerned with games like Overwatch, who have this huge amount of investment from these team franchises, when I'm thinking, are people going to still be playing Overwatch 6, 7, 8 years from now? I'm not sure. I mean, people are still playing
scary.
StarCraft 2, but it's not to the...
Dude, do you see how much money they're dumping into that? Dude, they're about to... That thing...
I'm concerned about the bubble.
in.
I'm concerned about that bubble. And I'm concerned that so many people outside of the quote-unquote esports space, video game competition, think that it's all, it's so linked. They go, oh, it's all lumped together, like they would lump in soccer and hockey and football and basketball. Just because you like basketball, watching basketball, doesn't mean that you're going to like watching football. But they look at all the esports numbers and go, look at all these numbers, it's huge, it's going to be this billion-dollar industry. I'm like, where is that money going to come from that you keep saying that it's going to be $1 billion, bro? Because I've seen so many companies have these, we're going to invest and get this great return of investment. Where are you going to get that? Where is it going to come from? How are you going to charge your customers appropriately? How are you going to fund these production costs? How do you fund the prize money?
Maybe not, though, because these skins, maybe that's like their valiant effort.
Well, it has been, dude. I mean, having the skins that directly fund the program is a success, period. It is, okay? I know it is. It's worked for Dota, it's worked for League, it's worked for Smite, it's worked for a plethora of other games. It just has to be a cool item, and it has to be transparent to where that money's going to. More people donate when they see how much is going to the teams, like with Dota, rather than it being hidden behind some magic wall that only a few people know. Okay, it kind of motivates people. They see the numbers, like, I want to add to those numbers if they're good. If they're low, then it's depressing, and that may be why it's slow. But yeah, those type of transactions in a game, I'm all for, because they have a specific purpose to fund a program that adds more of an entertainment value and helps grow the community. If it's just a piece of gear that you randomly roll on and you had to pay money for, I don't like that at all. It's gambling, or it's akin to gambling or close to gambling, and unfortunately, the video game industry, at least some of the heads of it, are like, no, it's not gambling, it's different. They're trying to maximize the experience. I'm going, you're just trying to use flowery language for a new technology, yet the behavior of the humans is what we're focused on here. And since the release of these loot boxes, there are more children in the UK addicted to gambling than before, by a very large amount, from some of the recent articles that I've seen.
Why in the UK, though?
Oh, that's where the study took place. That's why I bring up those numbers, because that's the latest study. But those European countries are now starting to look at this and go, this is considered gambling. We need to regulate it as such. But then some of the larger gaming corporations are like, no, it's not, and they're trying to fight back.
Oh.
This has just been a history.
That's going to cost them big boy
It's
bucks.
history repeating itself, where a technology has grown beyond what the law understands it to be, and the law needs to rein it back in so that's fair for the consumers and it's safe for the consumers based on behavior. We now have the metrics to show the behavior, and it's not a healthy type of system when you're chasing this euphoric feeling of winning something like that. With random loot. It's scary. I'd love to hear anybody that wants to counter argument, but this is from scientists and others that are starting to study it. So I do think that there are appropriate boundaries of microtransactions in games. I mean, hell, that's what most mobile games are, but it needs to hopefully be done right, and hopefully smarter minds than I can figure it out. But right now, it's one of the things I'm most scared about in the industry. So you have that, the huge pump of money into the scene with what are your expectations? We don't know what their expectations are, and their plan. We don't know exactly where the plan's going to go. However, when you have a season with a bunch of dates, and you know how much money you're going to earn, that's right. That's what's right in front of you, and that's what people like to really focus on. But there's a lot of great programs out there, and a lot of players have become successful and have made life-changing money, and that's awesome.
crazy.
But there wasn't a bubble before, and it burst in 2008, and we could very likely be in another bubble again, which is why I like tournaments like Combo Breaker and CEO and others where it's done from the ground up. It's done from a visionary that's trying to pull together resources and break even, if not make a little bit of profit for himself. It's not a corporation that has to answer to a boardroom of investors who's saying, hey, we're pumping in a couple $1 million into this. Are we going to make $7 million within 2 years out of it? 5 years out of it, 10 years out of it? What's going to be our return on investment?
I hate that whole look.
I don't like it either. I'm like, let's just break even. Everybody can make their rent. maybe save up some money. I don't know, dude. This is like diving into late stage capitalism, an entire system that is starting to really feels like it's crumbling. Now it's being put on our shoulders of the millennial generation to try to figure it out. And we have become entrepreneurs. Look at this, bro. I'm broadcasting out of my garage to the entire world, okay? This was unheard of 10 years ago, unless I had a satellite truck, some sort of distribution deal with cable networks or affiliate. Like, this type of technology has changed so much so fast. And the huge media corporations were so slow to jump on board. They finally saw that they were losing money because of pirates, and all you have to do to fight piracy is create a better service for the pirates. And that's what they did. HBO is one of the prime examples where they went, okay, people want to watch what they want to watch, when they want to watch it, however they want to watch it. That's how we're going to do HBO Now, $15 a month, get it whenever you want.
And watch whatever you want.
Watch whatever you want. Dude, I get Game of Thrones at 6 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock because I have HBO Now.
Ooh.
I get it 3 years. 3 years, Jesus. I get it 3 hours before everybody else on the West Coast time that does the broadcast version of HBO.